Hello everybody, welcome back. This tripod is broken. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a natural makeup look. Now this is my skin. I've prepped it with my skincare routine, which I might do. In the last video that I posted, I mentioned that I lost a lot of weight. This is something that people bring up quite a lot anyway. I drastically lost weight over like a year. That's something I want to talk about. A lot of people might be able to relate to the things I'm going to talk about. I thought, why the hell not do a get ready with me as I'm talking, because I can multitask and we can have like 2 videos in one. I'm going to start by, I've obviously prepped my skin. I'm going to go for a very light look today. Where is my mirror? Sorry, what? Okay, I found it. It was literally right under my nose. I've got the hair extensions that I used in my last video. Gave them a little trim at the bottoms because I feel like it was too long. What are we going to start with? We're going to start with foundation, which I don't think this is going to match me. I'm going to mix this foundation in with the LUMINOUS from number 7. I'm not going to put too much on, so we're just going to do it lightly, she says. Now my foundation is blended, I'm just going to quickly stop and talk a sec. I'm going to start the story when I was at school. So at school, I was skinny. Very skinny. Also going to do my makeup in the viewfinder because that's just what we're gonna have to do. This is the number 7 powder, by the way. This is really good. It's a really good dupe for Laura Mercier. It doesn't give you that proper like white look. Firstly, I want to start by saying that there is no right size. I'm going to be talking a lot about size in this video just because that is part of the story time. But yeah, the right size is the size you're meant to be, and it's taken me a long time to realise that. But I think that's very important to stress. It's not what you try to be, it's not what you wish to be, it's just how you are meant to be. So everyone's going to be different. Okay, so I've done my foundation and my powder. The next thing I'm going to do is just run through my brows. I was a very anxious... Oh my god. There's a fat spider and it is huge. Oh no. Right, it's just going to have to stay there for a little bit because I'm not getting that. I'm going to have to get my dad to get that. Ugh, it looks like a tarantula. Anyway, I'm going to try and ignore that. I was a very anxious, insecure person at school. Anything people said to me, I'd believe. As I'm sure a lot of people can relate, in school it's a very judgmental atmosphere. So anything that people say is going to get to you more. So you're kind of growing up. Now, I was a very skinny girl, right? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being skinny. I was like unhealthily skinny, like I wasn't eating. Like I was so anxious to go to school every single day that I literally wouldn't eat. I wouldn't be able to eat my breakfast. I wouldn't be able to eat my lunch properly because I'd be, like a spider, because I'd be so anxious at school. Now, I was anxious for a lot of reasons, so I'm not really going to go into that in this video, but basically I wasn't eating. Because I wasn't eating, I was getting even more comments about my weight because obviously I was losing weight. Because I was getting comments, like even if they weren't nasty comments, they would still get to me. Like if you say to someone, oh, you look like a stick, you're so thin. Literally the same as saying to somebody, you're so fat. Being fat is not seen as a compliment, being thin is not seen as a compliment. To this, to that is not seen as... So really we can't win. Do you know what I mean? I feel like everyone just needs to embrace what they've got, because nothing is gonna ever be enough. We all spend so much time on Instagram scrolling through, wishing we had something that's just not real. Like it's just not. What we see on Instagram is just a completely filtered version. And I like how some celebrities at the moment are posting selfies, but then they're doing like realistic selfies as well. I've seen Vicky Patterson do quite a lot on her Instagram, and I think they're really good just to like kind of open people's eyes to reality. Like that is not how they actually look. Angles and just different things like that that make you look so different. But yeah, anyway, so when I was younger and being called this stick thin paper, need to eat some Mackies, all of this stuff, you know who you are if you're watching. Only joking, right? Like I would come home and I'd look in the mirror and I'd be like, oh god, but I couldn't really do anything about it because I was so anxious to eat, and it was just this downhill spiral. Like I was not in a good place at all. Anyway, yeah, I found myself completely obsessed. I'll put all the products in the description, by the way, because I can't really tell the story and multitask, so I'll put them all in the description. I can't multitask, I really can't. But yeah, anyway, so I found myself literally infatuated by Instagram, just getting caught up in thinking like, oh, you know, there's all these thick girls that all the boys want and all of this, and I just got completely obsessed with wanting that. So I basically went on a mad one. I was going to the gym at like 7 AM, literally heavy weightlifting for like 3 hours. It was actually ridiculous. I can't even tell you, like, this is after school, by the way. I didn't just like start eating loads. So this is now, I'm in college kind of days, which my anxiety kind of like calmed down quite a lot in terms of like I could eat. I wasn't too anxious in the day to actually eat some lunch or whatever. At college, I literally just went on a mad one. It was actually a joke. Like, I was consuming about 2 massive weight gainer protein shakes a day, eating way too much food. I actually felt sick and sometimes would be. And I'll put like some transformation pictures on the screen because I don't think people realise how much I actually drastically changed in the space of like less than a year. Once I put on all the weight, I went from a size 6 to a size 14. And I look at some of the clothes now that, like, I'm not saying 14 is a bad size, 14 is not a bad size at all, it's just I was forcing myself to be that size, do you know what I mean? And I think everyone just needs to know whatever size you're meant to be is right. Whatever size you are is perfect. Like, you don't have to try and be someone you're not. Like, it's literally taken me so long to get to this point. It's like once you do reach the point of realisation, it seems silly that you even tried to be somebody else. Oh, the spider's gone now. My camera got too hot. We're back. Right, where was I? You can't let unrealistic expectations rule your life. I am so much more stress-free, honestly. It's hard. Like, when you're looking through Instagram and you've got Tammy Ambrell on there with her like completely amazing bum and all this that all the boys are after. You think all the boys are after. I know, it's a bit disheartening, isn't it? When you're just looking through Instagram and you've got all these models that just look amazing and you're sat in bed with your fake tan half off, your hair in absolute state, no makeup on, like, it just makes you feel rubbish. So I kind of got to the point where I just couldn't look at it anymore. Like, I didn't want to go on Instagram and feel rubbish about myself. I basically just unfollowed all the people that, like, not in like a nasty way, I just unfollowed celebrities that portray unrealistic expectations. I'm not saying they're awful people or anything like that, I'm just saying for my own health I just had to unfollow certain accounts. That might sound really like stupid, but it really does help. Not to say that the people I do follow I don't look at and I'm like, wow, like, you're amazing, whatever. In that mindset I was in, I just had to. I didn't want to delete Instagram because I like seeing what my mates are doing and stuff like that. Just all the celebrities that I found myself looking at their profiles in awe of them. I just thought, let's just unfollow, let's have a fresh mind. I just thought that was best at the time. So I recommend doing that if you do find yourself looking through Instagram thinking, oh, what the hell, like, I don't look like this, I want to look like this, like, yeah. Anyway, I'm just putting bronzer in my crease, by the way. I think I'm gonna have a really rubbish makeup look after this because I'm too busy chatting away. Back to the story. I'm just gonna put this in my waterline. So at the time I was in kind of a bad place in my life. I felt like I was trying to impress people. I felt like I was trying to conform to kind of expectations. I just felt very pressured to look a certain way because my body is meant to be the complete opposite end of the spectrum to what society portrays you're meant to look like these days. I just ended up completely going ham in the gym, ham on what I was eating. I was trying to be something I completely wasn't, and it was just a downhill spiral. And yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I was in a very dark place. It took a while to get out of this mindset, like, I need to look like these girls on Instagram sort of thing. I guess everyone sort of has those thoughts sometimes, like, they want to look like someone else or they don't feel good enough or all of this, but the way I was kind of acting on my thoughts just kind of got out of hand. My family started noticing I had completely transformed in the way I looked because I was so obsessed. I didn't even realise how much I had actually changed at the time. I guess you could say it was a little bit of body dysphoria. I'd look in the mirror and I'd still think I was stick thin when really, like, you can tell by the pictures that I wasn't. If you're the size I was, I'm not saying that's bad at all. I'm just saying that the things I was doing to try and be that size, it was just so draining. I just wanted to look at these girls so badly. Anyway, it started to get really obsessive. It got to the point where, like, I was actually so anxious if I didn't do certain things. Like, if I hadn't gone to the gym that day, oh my gosh, I'd be so anxious. If I hadn't eaten enough that day, if I hadn't had 2 protein shakes without fail, like the anxiety would be kicking in because I'd look in the mirror and I'd think like my body was going to change just because I didn't do certain things. I would have to go to the gym, get up really early and go to the gym at least once, if not twice. And it got to the point where I was so obsessive that I actually ended up injuring myself. This was a very dark period in my life. I basically couldn't go to the gym anymore. It was a muscle injury, which I still have now, purely because I just took it too far. Like, I was literally knackering my body and I knackered it to the point where I've actually got an injury. Let me tell you, has not been worth it. Oh my gosh. I have literally been to osteopaths, I've been to physios, I've been to what they call acupuncturists, I've been to the hospital, I've been to have MRI scans on my spine. What else have I been to? Chiropractors I've been to, and I'm currently, well I was before lockdown, I was currently seeing a chiropractor even now, and it's been 2 years since I've actually injured myself. It has really taken its toll on me. At the time it was so bad that I literally, some days I couldn't get out of bed, like my back would be in spasms, like I literally couldn't do anything. It was so much pain, I was literally in agony. Obviously this threw a massive spanner in the works because I'd gone from going to the gym every single day, eating like a mad woman, not wanting to lose any weight, so I was properly weight training. I just purely wouldn't want to lose weight, like I would literally get Ubers home just so I didn't have to walk and lose weight. Obviously I injured myself, I couldn't be going to the gym. I still did for a while, which made it even worse because I was just so obsessive. At the point where I wasn't doing any exercise, I was literally lying in bed, I was in so much pain. Obviously mental health was all over the place. I was literally doing nothing, and in my head I had injured myself from going too overboard, which I obviously felt guilty for. Sorry, I'm so bad at like doing this at the same time. This is the mascara that I always rave about. It's so good. You all need it in your life. I felt so unhappy. I was literally in bed, like completely in agony. Yeah, this was kind of summertime. Everyone was out doing things and I was in bed injured. Like it was just awful. Like I really regret doing that. I'm not telling this story for like sympathy or anything like that. I'm literally just telling the story to kind of get across like how badly societal expectations of how we should look like affected me, because I feel like it's a very unspoken about topic. I don't think it's spoken about enough. Now I'm using bronzer. I'm using the NYC Smooth Skin. Right, I'm using this bronzer. This is so good. It literally is like Hoola. It's practically the same thing. Like I'd buy this over Hoola any day. But yeah, I had like, I don't even know what happened. I feel like the injury was meant to happen to make me realise like, just stop, to make me slow down. I really do feel like I've been injured for like 2 years and it's still a problem for me, but I do think it was kind of like a kick in the teeth to make me realise, just stop woman, like what are you doing? Obviously I was still eating the same amount, I was putting on even more weight. I was obviously eating the proteins, drinking the protein shake and consuming the same amount of food, which let me tell you was a crazy amount. It was not a normal amount at all. Like I would literally be feeling sick every single day. I don't know why I'm using a beauty blender in my blusher. This is just what it's got to. I'm going to use this highlighter. It's the best highlighter in the world. It's called Rodeo Drive by Becca. No, not Becca, OFRA. The whole injury thing made me realise you've gone too far. It's getting silly now. I would be crying all the time just because I felt like I wasn't good enough in my body. Like I felt like my body wasn't good enough. You know, I wanted to have this like hourglass curvy figure, and it was not a good time, let me tell you. What's that then? Beautiful. Look at the glow. I've got it. I'm out of it, as you can see. This was literally my favourite thing. Spray a bit on my sponge. I'm just gonna pat it in. What has come to, oh look at that. Oh my god, I just love glowing. Oh, that is wonderful. Everyone get this spray and spray it on your sponge, because if you spray it on your face it leaves like patches and dots. Gives the same effect, but oh no, oh no, what have I done, what have I done, what have I done? Oh no, I've ruined the whole look. That just needs to dry a little bit. I'm gonna go onto lip liner. Don't know why I did that. Might just leave that there to set. It's gonna look a bit weird, but it's fine, we'll just have to deal with it. Brilliant. Yeah, so I have obviously now come to the realisation that what I was doing was absolutely crazy. When you think about it, I have injured myself for, what have I actually injured myself for? I was literally trying so hard to be someone I wasn't. The whole injury thing was a sign to stop. If any young girls are watching and you're kind of in the same mindset, that whether you're trying to do the opposite to what I did, or whether you're also trying to put on the weight to try and have an hourglass figure that everyone's after, you know, I need some lip balm. Does anyone have any good lip balms? Because mine don't seem to work. If anyone's in that kind of mindset at the moment, I just want to tell you, I can't stress how important it is to not get caught up in what society is portraying the perfect body. I can't even stress enough how important it is. In the grand scheme of things, it's not going to matter. I promise you, most of the time, these girls that you see are not real. I feel like during the school stages, everyone is pretty obsessed with having a big bum, having big boobs, impressing all the boys or what the girls, whatever. I'm not saying it's just a problem for girls, because I know guys have the same sort of thing with like wanting to be muscly and wanting to be this and that. I just feel like we all need to calm down. We all just need to like embrace what we've got. You've got to work with what you've got. You can't be completely ruling your life trying to look like somebody you're not, because that's exactly what I did and it didn't end well. So if anyone's in that state of mind right now, I promise you, you are beautiful the way you are. You do not need to change for anyone. I'm being serious here. The perfect body is the way you're meant to be. Like, that should be the quote of the year. Love it. These Sony cameras are not doing it for me. They are literally turning off every 2 seconds because they get too hot. It's really annoying. Anyway, like genuinely, you will realise at school it's very like, you've got to impress this person, this person. You have not got to impress anyone. And if you want to be impressing people, you're going to impress them with being yourself. Like, why do you want to look like these girls on Instagram? Like, they're not real. They are actually not real. Instagram is a completely filtered life, portraying what they want to show. And I've only just blooming realised this, how important it is to just love yourself. Like, it's hard to get to that point. I'm not saying like, oh, I love myself now, like everything's cool. Not at all. Like, I'm still on a journey, but compared to what I was like, I'm a lot happier now. I'm not saying like I never compare myself to anyone. It's normal to compare yourself to people, but to the point where you're like changing yourself, it's taking over your life, that you're trying to look like these girls, that's when it's out of hand. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people have been asking like how I lost the weight and stuff. I'm not gonna lie, this is something I was a little bit apprehensive about talking about. Right, there we are. I do feel like even now I'm struggling in a way, because I completely transformed my body. I've now lost the weight. Now I'm not in any way, shape or form saying that you need to lose weight at all. The whole message in this video I'm trying to get across is accept who you are. Spray my face with DECAY all-nighter spray. Not that we're going anywhere, I'm literally sitting in my bed, but it's fine. I think I've had this since about year 8. My neck. I literally just stopped taking the protein shakes. When I did that, I felt a lot better. When I was taking the protein shakes, I was getting hot, I was getting sweaty, I was literally bloated all the time because I felt so full from these shakes, because they were like full fat carby shakes. I don't recommend them, to be honest. And I started eating normal portion sizes again. I don't even want to talk about what my diet was before. Got my eating plan back on track. During this time I also got out of a relationship, so I was in a very weird place. Like, I was trying to kind of get myself back to the old Isabel. I was still struggling, but not trying to impress anyone, just doing me, getting back on track with my normal exercise, because at this point I'd been having regular physio sessions. Look how dirty this is. I actually can't cope. Can anybody else remember the last time they washed their makeup brushes? Because I blooming can't. I actually really love these puffs, whatever they are. I just need to wash them. But yeah, that is the makeup. It's a more natural look. I literally look back at my other makeup video and I actually cringe at how much like I caked it on. I'm just gonna finish the story time. Obviously, kind of the realization process, not trying to be someone that I wasn't, took a long time. It really did take my injury and the kind of recovery process to realize like what I was actually doing. And to the extent, I feel like now I can look at other girls and I can be like, oh, you are so stunning, but I don't want to look like you. Like, she's amazing, but I don't have to look like that. Do you know what I mean? Yes, I'll try and get toned and stuff like that, but I'm not going to go to the extent where I actually am getting infatuated by these girls that I want and need to look like them. No, like, that's not me anymore. I'm just done with it. I'm just actually like, it's so draining. I was so obsessed. But anyway, we are on a different path now. I found a lovely boyfriend who appreciates me for who I am. There's no pressure to look a certain way, kind of overcome that thought process. So that's good, because I'm not less stressed, let me tell you. I feel like I've kind of covered my weight loss journey. I really don't know if this video has been any good or any help to anybody. I just really wanted to make it because I feel like a lot of people can relate to the pressure that they feel with kind of society expectations, going through a stage of not being happy with their body, wanting to change it, or even trying to change it, just feeling really unhappy with themselves, which is why I wanted to make this video. I just want people to know you're not alone, especially growing up. Like, there's just so much pressure these days. Do not fall into the trap. If there's anybody in your life that's making you feel like you're not good enough and you need to change, then get rid. Yeah, you need to try your best to block it out. That concludes the video. I hope you have enjoyed me ranting away. I'm gonna go and
fetch that spider that's literally crawling.
Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this has helped. You're all amazing, whatever body shape or size you have. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! I really need to get that spider.